We drove the Mercedes Benz EQS SUV, and let me tell you, it's a beast of a car with 120 kilowatts hours of energy, 2,800 kilos of weight, 7-seater, 4-wheel drive, and all the technology you can need and the best comfort you can get. So me and Samuel, we drove this Mercedes Benz EQS SUV 4MATIC 450 plus, and we wanted to test the car, and we wanted to show some of the amazing Norwegian nature in the same process. We charged the car up to 100%, and we wanted to see how far we could get, because it's a large battery on this car. We started from the southernmost tip of Norway.
Lindesnes Lighthouse.
Yes, and we just went straight up in the Norwegian mountains on small, narrow, bumpy roads. We drove from Lindesnes Lighthouse, the southernmost tip of Norway, and headed to Lyngdal through some very small and winding roads. Lyngdal is the only place nearby with a fast charger. After a rest and a charge in Lyngdal, we headed north into the Norwegian mountains on backcountry roads, small, narrow, winding roads with mostly bad asphalt, but we got some breathtaking view as we went along. We were not going to drive economically. We were going to set the car in comfort or sport during the whole trip, and we were going to drive fast when we could. The driving conditions would of course slow us, as it was narrow and winding roads. In addition, there were some bumpy, bad stretches of road ahead also. We wanted to see how far we could get driving normally and not considering the amount of electricity we had left on the battery. It was a perfect opportunity to test how good the car really was. And I didn't think of ending up in the same elevation and stuff like that. When people want to do a road trip, they don't think about that. So you just go. And so it was a more practical range test then. And at the same time, we wanted to do a review of the car. As I said, show you some amazing Norwegian nature.
Yeah, there was some very pretty places.
Yeah, it was. And the places neither you or me have been, actually.
No.
It wasn't summer heat. It was spring. Temperature varied from 1 degree to 20 degrees. But I really enjoyed the scenery. You had these beautiful lakes and these windy roads going around them, and you had small villages. You had these beautiful mountain climbs, the back roads up in the mountains, and you had these fantastic views when you got to the plateau of the mountain, and drove into the mountain through the valleys. So there were some spectacular views, very nice lakes we saw. In some of the mountains there was snow,
Yeah.
and an impressive view, it was like it was winter again, and these long windy roads you could see forever. We had these amazing descents, through these twisty roads, then complete change of scenery, and suddenly there is there's green fields, and there is woods. There's warmth again, so. And then we drove up in the mountains. Target was to towards Geilo, stuff like that. But we had to see where the closest charger was at, because we couldn't be stranded by the road somewhere. So that was actually quite a risk, trying to drive this far into the Norwegian mountains, far from any city. So we planned in advance the route, so we knew that we could end up somewhere close to a city, or a charger at least.
Yeah.
When we drove up the amazing Tinsvegen, the view was absolutely breathtaking, and the contrast with the wide snowy fields was incredible. We were getting low on battery, and we knew we had to end the trip soon when we approached Uvdal. When we got to Rødberg, we were at 11% battery and decided to stop at the Tesla supercharger, as there wasn't enough range to reach another fast charger. The car had driven 440 kilometers, and if we had depleted the battery, we would have gotten around 500 kilometers of range. This wasn't bad, as we hadn't been driving economically at all on the trip. And we had temperature from like 20 degrees to 1 degree. It was never freezing. It was never below zero.
No.
managed to get to Rødberg, charge at the supercharger there.
Yeah.
If you drive very economically, you can of course achieve much better results. But we wanted to see what was the practical, real world range, extreme edition. You know, going up in these mountains and these windy, bumpy, small roads.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of interesting views that I really enjoyed, and it was a good experience that I will remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, I will do it again if the chance ever came up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It was. We should do it. We should do it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
This time we drive even longer.
Yeah. I think that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my mother has made some dinner for us.
So we should get back.
We should get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Okay. Because the truth is, you know, the trip from Lindesnes to Rødberg, that was just a small part of the trip.
Yeah.
Because the total, I think we drove like 2,100 kilometers, and most of it was on these small windy back country roads. It was such a long car ride that we slept in the car because we were exhausted, and it proved that we actually can sleep in the car also.
Yeah, you can sleep in the car.
Yeah, with turning on the ventilation. There's no camp mode. You have to have the car in neutral.
Yeah.
So the car doesn't roll. So put some stones on in front of the tires. Putting on the ventilation in neutral, letting the car run and turning off the lights. It's pleasant to sleep there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Closed. What will you do about your finger? Let me see.
You know,
It's a drone.
I was trying to get the drone down from the sky by picking it under, as you showed me, but I did wrong. So if you see, look at my thumb, it almost cut the tip of my thumb off. Oh, we're so stacked. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Change the temperature to 16 degrees.
I have set the temperature to 16 degrees.
And this is another example of what we mean with unoptimal roads that the that the GPS system has found for us. These roads are so tight that this car barely fits. It's a pretty large vehicle. Man without love, every time I start to break down, knowing that it's cloudy above.